Hello, my friends. TeresaLouise here. The channel where I put on lotion. Is that funny? I thought it was funny because it always seems like I start out putting on lotion. Looks like I'm a little blurry today. That's not good. Well, it is raining pretty hard outside, so fingers crossed that we have the internet consistently. Who knows, right? All right. Excuse me. I think that was a little too much. And I don't like my palms to be that sticky with lotion. Anybody else like it like that? I don't mind it up here, but I don't like it there. So let's see who we have. Just that's some personal information about me. I know I'm being silly today. All right. Our first person in the chat today was Polly. Hi, Polly. Thanks for being here. Then, oh, I can't go up any further, but I think it was Donna. Oh, and Tammy. She popped in to say hi. And let's see. We have Linda Denton and Sandra. Hello, ladies. And Carrie. Hello, hello, and welcome. Linda Faust. Hello. Hi, Jamie. How are you today? Happy Sunday, yes. And I hope everybody had a pleasant Valentine's Day. Hi, Zandra. Well, hello, Brenda. And Judy. Hello, hello. Let's see. Come on. Go down, chat. Hello, Sandra. Hi, Kim. Good to see you. Hi, Cindy. Good to see you too. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Jan. Thanks for coming. Hello, good stuff. Good to see ya. Well, hello, Gloria. Good to see you. And okay, that's what we got so far. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm okay. Got over being sick, so that's good. It was a nasty cold or respiratory. Maybe it was bronchitis. I don't know. But I know it wasn't the... I know it wasn't the vid. So yes, I'm feeling better. Brandon's doing okay. He's downstairs watching. Let's see. Who can guess what Brandon is watching? I've said this a lot of times on my lives. So if you've been here long enough, you probably know what he's watching. Hi, Jaja. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Helen. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, Brenda's doing the friendship pattern for the Quilt of Valor in Donna's group. Oh, really? Awesome. That's so cool. I'm still going to do it again, but I want to do it with the way Joyce put it together. So, and I'll do that on a live stream. Probably in a couple of months. Yes, Polly, it is an old Western. So, yes, Gunsmoke. Oh, the flu's been making the rounds? Yeah, not good. Is that Grindley? Hello, Grindley. I hope I said that right. Oh, I can't wait to see your pictures. Uh, yeah, I can show the cute Valentine in the background. You betcha. Hi, Joan. Okay, great. Thank you. So Grindle. Okay. I'm terrible at names. I really am. Let's see what else. Okay, I'll show you that. Yeah, so this project up there is I found some old pictures of that, and gee whiz, we did that in 2023. So that is Kim Schaefer's, that's the pattern designer, Calendar Quilts. And I got mine on Amazon. It comes with all the patterns for the applique. So there is piecing involved, but there's a lot of applique too. Okay, so all the designs come on these big pattern pieces. And I don't know, I don't think I even got them all done. I do think they were all cut out, so I'll have to go through them and see what I have. But I know I did have this one because this was like the first one we did, and we did it in January, I think. And they are, they're a lot of fun to make. And then you have something to hang up every month. So 20 by like 28 and a half. And this doesn't say love anywhere, but I was thinking if you wanted to, you could put like love across here if you want, kind of fill this space in. But I did a lot of free motion quilting in the center. I'm sure you can see I did a cross hatch right in the middle, and then I did these feather, the feather stitches all the way around, and then mostly just a meander stitch on the rest of it. And I just did it on there with that machine. So yeah, like I said, I got mine on Amazon, and I think I paid like $17, $18 for it, but I have no idea what it is nowadays. So next month I'll put up the next one. So I'm just gonna hang one up every month. Hey Kathy, how you doing? Hello, Eastern Oregon. Yes, I did get burned out on them. Very true. They were a lot more work than I thought. So instead of doing a lot of piecing, I just started doing um, a full background and then doing the applique on it. I did that on a few of them. So anyway, I have made a lot of progress on the tiger quilt, and it is foundation paper piecing, Violet Craft. It's called Tiger Abstractions. So I have section 1, 2, 3, 4 done completely. Section 6 done completely, which is the very bottom. And now all I have left to do, I have most of section 5 done, which section 5 is the whiskers right through here. So that's what I'm working on, is these whiskers. That's all I have left to do. And then I can sew it all together. So this is the last section. This is the bottom of the quilt. And it still has all the paper on the back. And then the other sections are hanging up over there on the wall. I'll show that to you in a little bit, but nothing's changed on it. And I just have, like I said, just those whiskers left. I got this bottom piece done that I had missing. That's so the whiskers will come off of this side. Isn't that cute? I think it's cute. I think he's going to look good. I do think he's going to look good. All right. So these are the whisker pieces. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 whisker strips done. Those are all done. Here's this one. See how long they are? These angles are a real pain in the pain. The long angle like this. What a pain. All right. So my, do you guys remember last time I was talking about the whisker fabric and what color to use? So I am using that one that looks kind of like a grunge. It's a really super light gray white color. It's here. I just have that I have enough of all of these fabrics to finish this. I'm pretty sure I have enough of that white for the whisker, but I'm a little worried about the orange and the background. So I'm trying to be a little more careful. Now, if I do run out, what I'm going to do is take scraps and just sew all the scraps together until I have a nice size, and then I'll just use that like a piece of fabric, because I'm not going to try to find the fabric or try to use a different orange, because that would just wouldn't work. I just would rather have more lines in it, and it's got a lot of lines in it anyway. You know what I mean? A lot of seam lines. So I don't think that really matters, or it doesn't matter to me anyway. And it's not like, you know, I'm making this for somebody else or anything like that. So who knows? If somebody offers to buy it when it's hanging up in the quilt show, I might sell it. I don't know. As much time as I spent on this, I don't know if I would want to sell it or not. So anyway. Yes, poverty piece. Brenda says, exactly, it won't matter. Gloria says, I've been a quilter for 45. Must be for 45 years. I'm 84 years, and I'm getting a little burned out. So I'm cross-stitching and embroidering. I do a little bit of that too. Hey Liz, how you doing? Hi Mona. Hi Nina. Okay, so here we go. How many I have left? I have a mess, I can tell you that. I was thinking about working on something else today, but I just have this tiger stuff spread out all over the place. It's a mess. And so I thought, you know what? Just keep plugging away on this tiger. And these long angled ones like this, for me, they take a long time. So I have 3 more for the right side, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the other side. So 10 altogether. I really doubt that I'm going to get them done in this hour, but I will try. One thing I noticed is my neck and shoulder really get to hurting doing this. So maybe if that starts to happen, maybe we'll go work on the horse for a little while, because I haven't worked on the horse for quite a while either. All right, I'm going to trim off some of this excess paper. My first trim on the paper, I don't do it right on the cut line. I just go over it a little ways, because I like to trim the whole block up. I'm just going to call that a block. So I like there to be a little bit extra past the cut line. Alrighty, so you always got to start out with A. So I like to count through the whole thing first. Well, let me move you down. Now, if you want to get a closer view of what I'm doing, if you're on your cell phone or iPhone or whatever, I think you can close your chat and then, you know, zoom in. All right, so A is this one, and A is orange. And this one's white. And this is background. So orange one goes on first. So A, B, C. And that's just how you put them on. Luckily, this orange one is a small piece, so that's good. Might be able to use up one of these small ones. And that's plenty. All right. So here's what I do. Here's my line for B. Fold that back. Then I cut off that excess. Ouch. I keep poking myself with that darn pin. All right. I need to turn this mat over because it is doing too much stuff there. I used to have another little cutting mat, but I'm not sure where it went. Okay, so that piece is... Thank you for putting in channels. I appreciate that. Hi, Geraldine. How are you doing? Okay, bye, Gloria. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I have another mat over here, but it's super old and really hard. What I should do is go downstairs and get my other cutting mat. I have another small one. That would work out really well for right here. Probably would work. Oh yeah, I could try that. There was a this thing. Remember that, Susan? And hello, Susan. How are you doing? This works pretty good to get the... Yeah, it needs an actual cleaner on there, actually. This is called a 2-in-1 Happy Matte Self-Cleaning Silicone Brush. All right, let's get back to it. I'll just try to move my spot a little bit. All right, so this is what I do. I keep this folded back like this, and then I take my next color, because I'm trying to be a little more careful with my fabric. I really should press that. Now, I could cut this up a little bit. Just over there. All right. Because this is batik, it doesn't matter which way I turn it, okay? But on the next one, it will. All right, so what I do is set this fabric on there, my first piece, piece A. All right, now I'm going to look at that angle and make sure I have enough fabric. So I need to pull this over a little bit, like so. And I always give myself just a little bit of space. And I hope you can see what I'm doing there. All right. So I need it to be, you know, this wide, right? And there's my other piece of fabric. Okay, so here's what I do. I take a pencil, or you can use those iron away markers, but I just use a pencil. Okay, I'm just going to follow along that fabric, draw a line right there, all the way. Okay, and then I want to know too where to line it up. So then I put a little straight line out right there, and a little straight line out right there. Okay, so that should be good. Fingers crossed. Now what I do is I take my scissors and I cut that off right on the line. Okay, now flip it over there. Make sure you have it on the correct side. Line those two up. And then I just like to double check. So I'm going to line those two up where I have it. Following my marks there and there. Now what you could do is take a pin, put it in horizontal, like when you make a stitch, right? All right. So now when this folds over, once it's sewn, there we go. Okay, so I have it. That should be fine. So I could go ahead and sew that line. Does that make sense? Hi, Rudy. How are you doing? Okay, Susan. Well, it's finally warmed up and we're enjoying sunshine here in Michigan. Oh, nice. Well, it's raining, almost snowing here today. Hi, Mary. So it is definitely a nice day to be in the house sewing. Let's see if I missed anybody. Oh, scrubbies. Oh, I get what you're talking about. Okay. Oh, yeah, they might. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and sew that on. Now, I always sew into from the cut or the sew line here, and then there's a cut line. I always start over here into the past the sew line on there. Especially these ones that have these weird angles. Take my word for it, you're going to need that extra. And you can always take it apart if you need to, that little teeny bit. And it's not a problem when you sew everything together. I've had no problems doing that. Okay, so there's that. And I can just go ahead and, all right. Somebody forgot to tell me that my first fabric was on there wrong. That's the bad thing about not having all batiks. That first fabric has got to go on there correctly if it's a regular fabric. Gosh darn. Now you know why it's taken me so long. It seems like my first sew of the day, every time I do this, I need to write it down, you know. Printed fabric up. Like this. Now I need a new piece. Okay, let's see. Okay, say I was going to do it again. Printed side up. Like that. On your first piece. All right, let's see if this is enough. Oh, looks like it. Oh, no, I have a lot of them, Susan, downstairs. Thank you. I'll bring one up. In fact, I might have one in the bathroom up here. But thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So there's that. Now, let me put the pin in here. Let's see. Okay. So that's still going to work. All righty. I hate the fabric flopping all over the place too. That drives me crazy. All right, so That should be all right. Okay. I will be so glad when I have this project done. You guys have projects like that where you're just like, you're so over it? Fingers crossed. That's why I stopped working on it whenever it was, last year or the year before, because I was just so over it. All right. So that turned out well, okay? Got plenty of fabric on there. And I have to say that I think the legit kit patterns are easier to do because they're all squares. You know, they're not this long. All right. I need that ruler. Yeah, I have the elephant pattern too. I don't know if I wanted to. I want to do it, but I wonder if it's any easier. I don't know. But I would love to do that one. I'm not doing my trim up cut yet. I'll do it after I get all of the pieces sewn on here. Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there. Oh yes, the picture's flipped. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting about that. I still don't understand why. I've checked all of my camera settings. I guess I need to send YouTube an email and ask them. Or use Zoom. I think if I use Zoom, it would work okay. All right, so I'm just going to put another pin in it. All right, my last piece is going to go right here. Okay, Jaja, thanks. Thanks for giving me a break, girl. this is going to be a long white piece. This is the whisker. Now, I'm going to show you. When you have these pieces like this, this is the whisker line right here. That's the sew line, and it comes to a point right there. But this background piece keeps going. So when I cut this white one, I'm going to go way out here like an inch, inch and a half further than that line, okay? And I'm also going to extend this line all the way into the 1/4 inch seam area. And it just, for me, it works so much better just to keep sewing straight off, because otherwise you sometimes don't get enough fabric over there in your 1/4 inch area, if that makes sense. Yeah, you learn all these little tricks. At least, you know, that's how I do it. Okay. I had several of them where I stopped right where it said to stop, and, you know, all that, sewed right where they said to sew, and there just ended up not being enough fabric in that 1/4 inch seam area. And then I had to just do them over again. So I just learned to put that extra length on there. Okay, so I need to straighten this up a little bit. And this fabric right here doesn't matter one way or the other, really. I mean, it's not a batik, but it's not that different on either side. So I always go off by about 1/4 inch. This is my flat end. And I'm coming up on my pointed end. And with these, I just have to pin, you know. Otherwise, they just, this much fabric, it just slips around. Now, I prefer to start at the flat end and not the pointed. So I have to kind of sew this one a little bit different. Instead of being over here, I'm going to go on the inside of my sewing machine. I know, that's weird. But I'm sewing right on the line, so it doesn't matter much. It's kind of weird to do that, but it works. And these tricks work for me. You know, it might not work for everybody. I'll read the comments here in a second. Hi, Suzanne. Okay, so right here is where I should stop, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep going and just sew right off into my 1/4 inch area. Until I get to the cut line there. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'll show you. Okay. This was where I was supposed to stop, right there. But I stopped up here. So I'm going to have all of that in there. I should do one on purpose so you can see the difference. Let me see if... I thought I had one that was really close. Okay, here's a example. On this piece, I didn't quite have enough fabric all the way at the end by accident. My little trick didn't work. So I had like this much more that I needed. So I just took another piece of fabric and sewed it onto the end. Instead of cutting all this up and doing it all over again, I just added a piece there. And that little extra line seam, it isn't going to bother me. You know, so think about that if you make mistakes. And if you're able to just sew another piece in there, then sew another piece in there. All right, all of these look okay. So I thought I had one that... No, those are all okay. All right, so anyway, that's how I do it. So I'll press that and then trim it up, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, Suzanne. Great. Welcome back, Mona. The hardest, okay, Mona did the elephant. It was her first FPP. The hardest was the tracing. Okie doke. So when you do that, you know, sew that extra into the seam, that is going to give you extra fabric inside your seam. But when you get ready to sew all these together, you can cut some of that out. Once I line this up with the other one, the piece that it goes to, then I'll be able to see how much extra I have on there. Alrighty. So all right. Hey, Crystal, how are you doing? So what are you guys working on today? Anybody sewing or cross stitching or knitting, crocheting, painting, doing beadwork? Alrighty. One down. Let's see, I'm working on some hand quilting for an hour. I'll be so glad when it's done. I'm getting burned out on it, but it's for an aunt, so I'll finish soon. That was Kim. Jamie is pressing a quilt top so I can put the borders on and get it on the long arm. Awesome. Crystal is doing well, working on a baseball quilt pattern for my oldest brother. He's a trucker, so he can take it on the road with him. Cool. Susan is putting another sweater on the needles and knitting for a friend. Cool. Susan's sweaters are so pretty. Did you get that one done for Teresa McBee? She's going to love that. Loading the quilt of my own on the long arm. That's Geraldine. Awesome. Mona was cutting, but now she's in her chair. That's good too. Always need that chair time. All right. So that one's done. Next. Here we go. So I find my A first. And it is orange again. Background and white. So here we go with just 3 pieces. Oh, I might be able to get away with another little piece, maybe. Not quite. Almost. Nope. Oh, there's another. This one might work. Okay, what did I say before? Pretty side up on your first cut. Okay, this one is plenty. Eastern Oregon made 3 zipper pocket inserts with a Wi-Fi fabric for the inside pockets of my vest. I think a Wi-Fi fabric is that type of fabric that protects your phone. I haven't heard of it. Now I've heard of it for like your credit cards. I wonder if it's kind of the same stuff. Help your phone from getting hacked. Right? All right, so not, okay, Teresa, not that one. Do my line AB first. There we go. Pull that down a little bit further. That looks good. Okay, again, this is my AB line. And I'm just going to draw a line on that fabric right there. Well, scratch that. I'm going to cut this extra off. All right, now my line goes on the other fabric. So I line that fabric up. So you can see, if I would have just sewn it, it'd have been way off. So I'm going to turn it. Figure out where. All right, so now perfect. Okay, so now this is where I am going to draw the line right here. In fact, I'll use this piece of paper. That's the angle I need that fabric to be, okay? Now, I'll move this aside, and then I'll cut that off, because then that'll give me that angle that I need, right? And this fabric is batik, so I don't have to be as careful. Okay, so there's that. Now, this is going to go right here. But if I want to double check it, just fold that down there like that. And just still make sure you have enough fabric, okay? So that looks like plenty. It's just so much easier for me to do it that way. I hate to tell you how many pieces of fabric I ruin trying to guess that angle. So Eastern Oregon, they wanted to know what the Wi-Fi fabric is, or anti-Wi-Fi fabric is. If you wouldn't mind giving us the information on that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Susan. I knew there was fabric you could use in your wallets and things like that that you make that protects your cards. But I don't know if she's using the same thing or something different. I'll have to look it up. Okay, So that worked plenty. Oh, and your phone too. Okay, thank you. So yeah, that's what it is. Now, I'll just cut off this extra there. I'm just going to go ahead and trim this side up. I know, a lot of dead air, you guys. Sorry. I have to concentrate. Oops. Okay, I think I need a new rotary blade. Going through all this paper, it doesn't take long for your rotary blades to get dull. Okay, so the next piece, I could go ahead and cut that end off. I don't need that. All right. I am going to glue. I'm going to glue both sides because they're just so floppy otherwise. And if you don't keep them out of the way somehow, they could get caught up in your sewing, you know, folded in, and you don't want that. Okay, let that cool a little bit. Mona says she bought some, but it's lost somewhere in her space. It reminds me of nylon rip stop, but thicker. Donna, hi Donna Dixie. Freya Day fabric is more effective than RFID. Mona says they have it at Walmart and on Amazon. Easton, Oregon said she bought some years ago from Nancy Zeman and recently bought some from Amazon. And she said, yes, I think it's the same stuff. Okay. Alrighty. Sorry, I'm just rubbing my back. Alrighty. I think I'm pretty much caught up. Okay, so my next piece. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Does anybody have any questions? Will is doing fine. The other dog, Annie, she's fine. Okay. See, what have I been up to? I think I sewed the other day with Katie. And I'm pretty sure I worked on this tiger. Now for the whisker. I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. Sometimes that glue just does not stick. All right, here we go. So, line her up. Now, if you didn't want to actually sew on the paper, you could pin it down just like this with it folded, and then follow along the edge here for your 1/4 of an inch, and then you don't have to tear the paper. That little trick has been going around lately. Now, I haven't tried it yet, but it looks interesting. I think I would first want to try it on one that isn't such a big angle like this. Maybe some of those other papers I have from the Fat Quarter Shop. I'll try it on there, but boy, that'd be slick not to have to rip your paper. And I think they use glue and pins to keep it on there. Like, I think she does the first one, like A and B. I think she does that seam on the paper, but then the rest she just folds over. And I'm pretty sure she uses glue. All right, so again, this is my square end. I want to start here. This is where I come to a point. I don't want to start at my point. So I'm just going to put this in here the weird way. We haven't been doing much of anything. Just my normal household chores and when I do get any sewing done, I've just been working on this. The next UFO I'm going to do is my Dresden plate, and I have a quilt that needs to come apart, so I need to do a lot of ripping, and then as soon as I get my new foot for my long arm, I'm going to try that, and then see if I can't get my long arm going again. So that's kind of my plans for next week. My goals. That, and I want to finish cleaning up the basement. I'd like to be all done with that next week. So, fingers crossed that I don't catch any crap. Hi, Giovanna. How are you doing? Using my acorn pin on that seam. Help it stay a little flatter. Okay. Another one done, just about. Hey, Nikki, how you doing? Hi, Lori. If you haven't done it yet, if you wouldn't mind and give me a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. What time is it? 2:30. Wow. I've been on for almost an hour and a half. No wonder I'm getting wiggly. Okay. There's that one. Another whisker. Hi, Gladys. Nikki says hello, Kathy. Okay, let's see. This little orange one. Okay. It's like plenty big enough. I'm going to get up here in a second and stretch. So if you haven't been up out of your chair in a while, now is a good time. Okay, so turn that. My line is going to be there. So cut off the extra fabric. Grab the background. Let's see if I have any. No, I have to use this big one. All right. Pull that out there. Turn this at an angle. Gotta get your angles right. Okay. Flip that back over again. Just use this little piece of paper. Draw me a line. And let's see, it needs to be right in here. Okay, set that aside. Grab my scissors. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that elephant or not. I'm going to thinking about keeping an eye on legit kits and looking for something when it goes on sale, and because I would like to try one of those. Just, see how much easier, if at all. Or I just might do like a regular quilt pattern, like a Judy Niemeyer. I heard those are pretty hard to do. I think that one I would give myself, like 2 or 3 years to do it. Some of those I think you have to take a class. I remember that's what Lynette did. She went and I think it was up in Montana or Wyoming. I'm not sure which. Lynette, Yvette Renee went up there and took a 4 or 5 day class. But I think that was at the time that she was thinking about becoming an instructor on those Judy Niemeyer quilts. Oh, Jamie has a legit kit, and she's about a little weary to tackle it. Which one is it, Jamie? Polly said she loves Judy Niemeyer patterns. She made one and it wasn't super hard. I don't think you need to take a class for it, but it wouldn't hurt. Stitch in Heaven does classes for Judy Niemeyer all the time. And where are they? I think they're like Wyoming or Montana. I don't know where they are. The Rose Mini. Oh, nice. That one's pretty. I thought about getting that one. Oh, Texas. I was way off. um, Nikki, Mona says hello. Hi, Norma. How's the weather down there? I know you're down south of me. Oh, I got to get up and walk around a little bit, you guys. wish I had a candy bar. I'm having a chocolate craving. Oh, 55 dry. We've been raining, but you know, I'm up by Grangeville, so in the mountains. It's cloudy. The rain stopped, but I did hear the turkeys. And I found a photo from last year at this time of year, and we had like 2 to 3 foot of snow out there. And right now, we barely have any. The only place we have snow is maybe a quarter of an inch, wherever the shade is, you know. Oh, lucky you, Kathy. Rub it in. 61 in the middle of Missouri. Nice. Oh, thanks, Brenda. Said Yvette went to Montana at Judy's headquarters. Oh, I remember that. I remember that now that you mention it. I sure miss her content. I miss her face on YouTube. I hope she's doing okay. All right, here we go. Got a little off on this one. Imagine that. But still, luckily, all corners are covered. And that's what matters, right? My hand is really sore. It's from this, the rotary, and the iron, I think. All right, now my white piece, and I will be done with this whole side of the whiskers. And instead of starting on the next side, I'm going to sew all these together. Because why not? Okay, I need my whisker fabric. Oh, hi, Rita. TeresaLouise, is that horse and lion you're doing? Did you cut the little teeny pieces, or was it part of a kit? No, it wasn't part of a kit. I mean, it comes with the papers, but not the fabric. So it was just a pattern. And I'm doing, this is a tiger. And it's by Violet Craft. And you get all the papers. And the horse I'm doing is Emily Taylor, Collage Quilter. And it was a fabric panel pattern. Okay, so here we go. And then those other horses I did, the smaller ones, they were Tony Whitney, and they also are paper patterns. Now, the Tony Whitney ones you can find in a quilt store once in a while. They will kit those up for you. But I don't mind picking my own fabric, so I do go kind of off of the color chart that they send you for the values, darks and lights and all that stuff. But I still pick my own colors. But that purple horse from Tony Whitney that I did, I saw it at a quilt shop and they had it all kitted up. Now, the one thing you could do if you really like your quilt shop that's near you and the people there, are really helpful and they know their colors and all that stuff, you could take those patterns in and have them help you pick out fabrics. A lot of quilt shops will do that. Or you could, just go, could you kit this up for me? And I know a lot of quilt shops that'll do that, so. There's even quilt stores online that'll do that for you. You find a pattern you want and you call them and ask them to kit it up for you. They'll do it. As I think that is one of the biggest fears that people have is picking their fabrics. I mean, I say just call, if you pick your own fabrics and you end up not really liking it, just say that it was scrappy and then donate it. Personally, I think picking the fabric is one of the funnest parts, but French silk pie. Ooh, that sounds good. Oh yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, the tiger is FPP and the horse is not. The horses are applique. I've never had French silk pie. Oh, wow, that's a long ways, Rita. Yeah, mine is about an hour and a half away. Okay. All right. That's the last piece on this section. Yay! Everybody clap your hands. Yippee skippy. I'm so happy. All right, now I can sew all of these together. Here we go. Now, to get your directions out. And this is the right side, I believe. No, it's the left side. But when you turn it over, it'll be the right side. Okay, that's 100. 101. 98. 6. 99. 97. Okay, here we go. 97. Whoop. 96. 97. 98. 9. 10. 1. 2. See, I can count. All right, so what's it say? I don't think it's going to matter how you sew these together, but it looks pretty much all straightforward. Nothing crazy here. All right, but you do start at the top. I'll grab the first set and just want to make sure everything is lined up. Oh, I just slept terrible last night. I woke up at 1:30 and I could not get back to sleep. So I just laid there for like a half hour, tossing and turning. So 2 o'clock, I said, all right, naughty word, and I just got up. Made coffee, and I had I didn't want too much like regular coffee, so I had half and half. Had a couple of cups of that. Listened to a book. And finally, about 5 o'clock in the morning, I got tired again. And so I just laid down there on the couch and fell back to sleep. And then I woke up at 7 or 7:30. So I'm running on empty. Oh, thank you for the hand claps, you guys. Oh, gee whiz, Nikki. My husband asked me, what happened to the hubcap? I said, oh, that's what that noise was. Hi, Lynn. How you doing? I know it has been a long time. I'm glad you were with your family. That's awesome. Yeah, well, I knew I was kind of working up to it because of not being able to sleep. Because the night before, I woke up like 4 times. And the night before that, I only woke up twice, which when I get up from a night like that, I'm like so happy. I'm like, guess what? I only got up twice. I slept so good. I might have to take a Benadryl tonight. Those kind of help me sleep sometimes. It's usually my back. My back gets to aching and it just will not quit aching. It's a dull, deep, penetrating ache way down in my sacrum. And yeah, it's extremely annoying. A heating pad will help sometimes, but then I get too hot. Okay, so I did find for those of you who've been here and heard me talking about when you have sharp, long points like this, to extend it all the way out into the seam line. Here is why. So this one, I knew I had one that wasn't quite. I think it'll be okay. It'll still catch in my 1/4 of an inch. But you see here how I didn't follow it all the way to the edge. And the paper has me, I was supposed to stop right here, which is about a 1/4 of an inch away from where I actually stopped. But I would have rather followed it all the way out. So that's what I'm trying to talk to you about, is just following it all the way out. Even though my sew line is down here, it'll be okay. But sometimes it isn't okay. or it's just barely okay. Yeah, I think it works better just to follow it all the way across. Okay. Hello, Messy Miss. Yeah, mine is my back and hips. Alrighty. Well, my whole darn body, really. We won't go there. Oh, right, Joan? I don't remember the last time I slept a full night. Had to be, you know, probably more than 10 years ago. Dang it. Yep, that pen was sharp. Well, at least I'm not bleeding. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to stay on live until I get all of these sewn together. Then I might go take a nap. No, I'm going to try not to take a nap because well, the more I nap, the less I sleep at night, right? Unless I could get a really good nap in. One thing about it is you do get sharp points. ooh, that's a thought. Maybe I ought to set a bed up down in the basement. No, because the furnace is down there. That's part of it. The problem right there is I can hear the furnace kicking on and off, and that always wakes me up. Now, if I sleep out on the couch is really the only place I can't, the furnace isn't as loud, but for some reason, it's loud in the bedroom. And the heater vent is on my side of the bed. And I try to keep it kind of closed down, but Brandon is always cold, and I'm always hot. So I'm the one kicking the covers off because I just get too hot. That wakes me up. So sometimes when I've just had enough, you know, I'm like, all right, I just go sleep out on the couch. And he likes to get we have a electric blanket on the bed, and he likes to turn that thing up all the way and get that bed just really, really hot, really warm. I'm like, God, you're killing me here. And I'm kicking all the covers off. I like the bed to be a little warmed up, you know, but not so hot that you feel like you're in a sauna. What I should do is put a fan on. That probably would help. That's what I usually do in the summertime. I hate to sleep out on the couch because, you know, Brandon has that CPAP and he has sleep apnea really bad. And it's like I'm his first line of defense because as soon as I hear that machine start trying to push air into him, I wake him up. And that happens a lot, so. Looking good, you guys. Yeah, those points, that is the thing about paper piecing, you do get nice points. Okay, let's see. 100. And then this one. I guess I'll go ahead and sew this last one on there. Hi, Vicky. I run hot and he gets cold. Yep. Oh, boy, I'm glad I'm not your neighbor, Nikki. Do they go out and bark? My dogs bark. I always wonder, you know, my neighbors are pretty far away, but I still wonder if they can hear the dog. And it's mostly Annie. I don't know why, but sometimes she wants to go out a couple of times. I tell her no. I think she just thinks she hears something out there, you know, so she's got to go check it out. Whereas me and Willa will just stay put. Okay. Looks good. Okay, bye, Nikki. Yeah, no, I don't wait. Only if they want out. Every once in a while, Willa will want to go out. But if I get up from bed and go out on the couch, and she comes out there, you know, every now and then she wants to go out, but not very often. Yeah, Brandon always lets Annie out, and if I'm not really sound to sleep, definitely she wakes me up. And she wakes me up from my nap. It's really hard to get any sleep around here, I'm telling you. And see, he can't hear, you know, he's like really deaf, so none of that bothers him at all. I could run the vacuum cleaner in the bedroom and it wouldn't wake him up. Okay. I'm really not complaining. I still love the old fart. Hi, Lily. How you doing? Oh, sounds good, Lynn. Lynn said, well, if you're staying on, I will go get ready for bed and watch on my phone and shut down the computer. No work tomorrow as we have half term. Somethings. You do not pin all the intersections? No, I just clip. The only thing I pin is if it's at if it's not square but at an angle, then I want to make sure I have the right angle, so I'll put a pin right in that sew line straight through it and then line it up with the next one. Okay, so then once I get that lined up, because it's just too hard to go through all that paper and fabric, so I just use pin or the clips, and then this end is straight, right? So I don't really have to worry about that. But if those didn't line up, then I had something wrong down here. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, definitely either pin or use your clips. I just prefer the clips on this project. This paper piecing like this and putting my binding on really is just about the only time I use these clips. Or maybe if I'm making those project bags or anything that's thick, I would use these clips. All right, doing good, you guys. Oh, I thought I was going to sneeze, but all right. One more seam to go. Make sure I have them the correct way. Let's see. Kim said her husband was a light sleeper. I swear he could hear a mouse pass wind 40 yards, 40 feet. Yeah, I guess I would say I'm a light sleeper too. All right. So again, putting a pin through the corner there on the sew line, and then through that one, making sure they're lined up. This side, that end is at an angle too, so I'm going to go check it and make sure it is lined up before I put all those clips on there. Good enough. All right, so I'll clip all that. Yeah, well, definitely big sections. This is a big quilt. It ends up being, let's see, 60 by 75. My first husband used to say, if you're tired enough, you could sleep through anything. Because he was in the Marines. So when he came home from the Marines, boot camp and all that, that was his new saying. If you're tired enough, you can sleep through anything. And he could, but I still couldn't. I mean, he could when he felt safe to do so, you know. All right, that section is done. Yay! Now, these are the whiskers. I'm pressing all these open. Okay, now I can Trim up this edge. Cut up all those dog ears. I don't need those in there. Looks a little off right there. That's all right. I'm just gonna line it up, cut it off. All right. And I have another dog ear down here. Now I can put on the next sections. What's next? 24 and 25. No, I'm on the other side. 94, this one. All right. 94. 95. And those are pretty square, so I don't really have to worry about pinning those at all. It always amazed me when the girls were babies. He could sleep through their crying, but everything else woke him up. Yeah. That sounds pretty typical, Kim. Thanks, Kim. And I don't like white noise. It's still noise to me. I like a fan on sometimes. That kind of helps me sleep sometimes. Because then I don't hear the furnace kick on as loud and all that stuff. Yep. Thanks, Mitzi. I really want to get, what time we got? Oh, 3:30 already. I want to get all these pieces sewn together. All the ones I can sew together like this, I want to get done. I mean, I know I still have, what is it? 7 or more units to put together. Or, you know, these little sections. The other side of the whiskers. This is the leaf. Okay. It goes on this side. Is that right? 96. Yep. 100. 4, 5. Yep. I always like to double check all of that because who wants to rip that whole line out? Not me. Hey, Gloria. Hey, Kathy. From Myrtle Beach. Oh, I'm glad you had a nice talk with your daughter, or I hope it was a nice talk anyway. Okay, one more and then I can sew the face on, or the muzzle. Oh, I'm sewing a long time today. Hi, Michelle. I'm surprised I haven't run out of bobbin. Okay, now I can sew the muzzle on. Right there. 96 is next to 103. Yep, that is correct. I want to sew this on because I want to see what it looks like. I hope there's no surprises. I'm working on the muzzle with the whiskers and everything. That section right there. But boy, my neck and shoulders are starting to hurt. I should take a little break. Now this is where it kind of gets hard to get everything together because it's so awkward. Okay, lining those up again. Definitely at an angle right here. Okay. I'm going to make sure that it's lined up pretty well on this side too. Looks good. All right. Go ahead and clip all that. Yeah, I think I need some Bengay or something. Gets to tingling back up in there. Nerve pain. Pinched nerves. My back is a mess, you guys. But I do not want to have surgery. Because once you start going down that road, yeah, I had a lot of it done already. And I just had to sew all those pieces together, but I still had all those whiskers to do. And I still have one side of the whiskers left. So I think there's like 7 parts here, something like that. And I think I will have enough fabric because I was starting to get a little worried about that. So, okay. That pin out of there. You understand completely, Kim? Thank you. Yeah, because I haven't known very many people at all where back operations actually helped. So, in some cases, quite a few that I know, that actually made it a lot worse. So, I don't know. Thought about, I don't know if I want to do this or not, but maybe going to the chiropractor. What I probably should do is have an MRI before because I don't want a chiropractor to make it worse. And the last time I was, you know, I used to go to chiropractors and stuff all the time, but for a lot of years, they haven't been able to do my sacrum area at all. I can't have them anything below, you know, L4, 5. They cannot touch it. Like, they're like, well, we could just use this. I'm like, no, you can't. Don't touch it. Because I've, you know, let somebody touch it one time, and oh my God, I thought I was going to die. Like, well, we're not doing that again. Well, let's see. So all I have to do is sew that little part. Let me stand up for a few minutes and get a drink. And, oh, I don't think you got to see this, Kathy. This is the bottom, the very last row of the tiger. So I got that completed, I think, over on when I was on with Katie. So as soon as I get this row complete with the tiger's mug, you know, the whiskers and stuff, then I can sew it onto this, the leaves onto this, and then this onto the rest of the tiger, and it'll be done. And hopefully that new foot gets here tomorrow or next week sometime, so I can try it with Susan's quilt, get hers done, and then I'll put this tiger on, my tiger on there. Well, I'll have to take a break, that's for sure. Well, it's super cloudy out there. It's the clouds are right on top of the mountains. It's like, you know, it kind of looks like fog, but it also looks like clouds, cloudy fog. Thanks, Kathy. Yeah, when I lived closer to town, I used to go to the chiropractor all the time, and they actually helped me with my neck. Um, so I probably should do that. Probably would help with my headaches too. There used to be a chiropractor that came out here once a month, but I don't think he's still doing it. I need to find out. Yeah, when let's see, I think it was in 2010, I had my surgery on my shoulder. I used to go to acupuncture, you know, physical therapy. All kinds of good stuff. But living way out here, it's almost not worth it because you go in there and get an adjustment, you feel all good and tired, and then by the time you get home, you know, you've ruined it. You know, since it takes an hour and a half driving along the river road, so you're like, woo, woo, woo. Yay! It's done, and I did not run out of bobbin thread. Cool. This is what it looks like. Looks like Tony the Tiger. Okay, and thank you. Thank you, everybody. So, I just have the other side of whiskers to put together. And then those can go on over here. Then I can sew all my rows together. I had to go hang him up over there with the other side, or, you know, with the rest of the wall hanging. You guys want to see the tiger on the wall? Thank you, Michelle. Oh, yeah, I'm ready to see it together for sure. For sure. Okay, I'm going to pick up the camera and take you guys over here. And I'll pin it up under there. I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's looking pretty cool. course, I don't have it pinned on there exactly. Okay, here we go. I'm going to flip the camera around. Whoop, sorry. There he is. So you see, and then there'll be one more row down there of more leaves and stuff. So you can tell now really well that I used two different oranges. I like that, how it turned out with the two different oranges. Yeah, I like it a lot better than just one color, one orange. So, yeah. Great sound effects. Anyway, yeah, so it's coming along. Thanks for helping me out, you guys. I appreciate. Ugh. You're going for a ride. Hold on. Boy. That was quite the ride there. I hope I didn't make anybody sick. Oh. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the quilt show for sure. And I'm going to try and put it in a couple of different quilt shows. Like, I think they have one at the fair, Idaho County Fair. And then we have a quilt show here in August. And then I think there's one up in Lewiston. I might try to put it in there. Maybe the one even in Boise. I don't know. But I'd probably have to mail those and mail it. I'm not sure if I want to mail it or not. Now I see one spot that I'm wondering about. No, that's correct. Okay. Anyway. Very pretty like that. Thank you, Susan. Okay, Kim, I'll see you later. Kathy R says, if I was a judge, you would win for sure. Oh, thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. Love the dots on the chin. Yeah, that turned out good. So, you know, all the whites, I use different colors of whites. They're not all the same. And I use different blacks. So it's going to have a lot of texture, I guess I would call it. Gives it a little more depth. But you could also achieve that and some of that in the quilting that you do on it. So anyway, I'm just sitting here looking at. I'm taking a break. I'm tired. So yeah, I usually put Ben Gay, believe it or not. back there. So I'm probably going to have to take a couple of days off now from the tiger. I hate to do that because I want to get it done. I want to get it done. Well, thanks for joining me, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. And I'm going to start turning stuff off so you guys can say goodbye. I want to look at my bobbin. I'm thinking it's pretty close. Oh, not bad. Got about a quarter of it of a bobbin. Just kind of let everybody say goodbye while I straighten up here a little bit. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. I am making chicken for dinner tonight. And yesterday I made a strawberry rhubarb upside down yellow cake. So I had strawberries and rhubarb that I made like a sauce out of it, and I put it in the bottom of the pan, and then I took a half of a yellow cake and I put half of the ingredients in there, and then I poured it over the top of the fruit, and then on top of the yellow cake I put walnuts and brown sugar, and then I just baked it according to the cake directions. And it turned out wonderful. You warm it up, have it a little warm, and then you put a dollop of vanilla ice cream on top of it. Super good. Super good. Okay, I think I'm ready. Thanks for joining me, you guys. I will be over on Katie, sewing with Katie tomorrow and Tuesday. Well, she invited me Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So whatever days I can be there. Monday we are going to finish up the Valentine thing. I know it's after Valentine's, but the love wall hanging. So that's the Greenland Quilter tomorrow. And so I'll see you over there then. And I'm not going to work on the tiger. I'm going to work on love. So hopefully I will see you over there. Okay? Okay, until next time, love, peace, and be sure to be kind to somebody. Don't forget to smile. Bye.